The Canadian Card Collector, and welcome back to day 564 of your daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the standard edition of the Waves playing cards from 52 Cards. So, without further ado, take a look and see what we get. As you can see, it's still in that standard glossy finish tuck box there, with that wave pattern all over the tuck box there, in that kind of two-tone black kind of colorway. Then you got the Waves logo there, and for each deck, there's a bunch of different editions, and that Waves logo is like a different color, so it indicates what edition you have. Then I just got the standard edition here with the white Waves logo, and then that Waves pattern just wraps around the entire tuck box there. And on the bottom here it says Waves playing cards produced by 52 Cards. And on the back here, you got that little circle design here on the back there. You can kind of see it within that wave pattern. Then for the seal, you got a white. You just got a custom white square seal with that Waves first edition standards on there. Nothing on the top except for that kind of wave pattern. On the tuck flaps, that also wave pattern that just wraps around. Same thing for the inner tuck flaps. Now we take the cards out of the box. On the inside of the tuck box, it's still that same kind of like wave pattern, just in that gloss white with the more matte black kind of like stripes there. So it's like a black and white design on the inside there. And now let's take a look at that tuck box. Time to look at the cards. And first, we'll start with the back design here. So we have that optical illusion style back design here. It might not be like as easy to see on camera, but you can still see it a little bit. And the longer you look at it, it can like trip you out and like start hurting your eyes for some people. But you got that optical illusion there with like the waves that kind of like pop off the screen if you have them like, or pop off the card if you have them in the right way there. And you got that little circle design there in the middle that kind of pops as well. And in a slightly different colorway. It kind of works on camera a little bit, but nothing like too crazy. And it is a subtle one-way back design there, so you wouldn't really notice for like the normal person there, but you can kind of see here how that's like the bigger section down there, like the smaller section up here. So if I was to flip it over, you could notice that it is upside down, but like normally using these, you wouldn't really notice too much. And it has that standard white border as well there. So it is that black and white kind of colorway for the back design. And now for the cards here. Here we get the first Joker. It says Joker, Joker there. Then you got a picture of a wave there in black and white. And then you got a second identical Joker there. So two identical Jokers of just waves. Then we got that custom Ace of Spades there, which is waves below it. Then you got that custom spade there with that waves design as well. And you got the custom suits and fonts there for the corners. And then the rest of the cards here have that custom kind of like design for this the faces here. For custom faces. Then we got the court cards here, which I really like there. And they kind of remind me of like a crayon drawing, if you want to draw with crayons. Because you got the reds, blues, and yellows in there. And they have that kind of wave design as well. So it just reminds me of like if you're drawing with like crayons for some reason. There. We got the four custom court cards. And you got that same kind of wave pattern for the Ace of Diamonds here. It's that custom diamond design there. And then all the suits kind of have like that same kind of styling for like the number, like the suit, like pips and stuff. And then you got that same kind of like style for the core cards once again there. And all the core cards are slightly different, same like colorway and styling, but like they're different, like slightly different, like in the crowns and stuff they're wearing, because they look slightly different from like different core card to core card. Then you got that same kind of styling for the clubs as well, custom club design. And that same kind of ace here with that wave pattern within it for the club there. And then lastly, got the hearts, Jack, Queen, King of Hearts. Once again, that same kind of custom colorway and design. Then you got the custom heart design here. And I didn't mention that the hearts and the diamonds are more of like a lighter kind of reddish pink kind of colorway. And you lastly got that custom ace of hearts with that wave pattern there. And then the last two cards in the deck, you have the double back of the back design. And then you got a little card explaining kind of like the features of the deck. There, how it's a little optical illusion. You can pause and read that if you like. But now let's take a look at the cards. For the handling, they are the ultra soft cardstock, so they are printed by the renowned Cartamundi in Belgium with a precise specifications and the highest quality of standards possible. So they have the premium FSC sourced 270 GSM black core slimline cardstock with, so they will handle beautiful straight out of the box and stuff like that. They got that nice snap to it there, and they're coated with true linen B9 finish, so they'll glide and spread consistently and effortlessly. So what they're saying is these will handle fantastic. So they are a slightly different stock and finish than like the United States Paint Company, so they will handle and feel a little bit different than you used to if you're just used to like bicycle stock and stuff like that. But now we'll test the handling. They are slightly thinner than like normal decks, so they will be a little bit thinner if you get these. But they still seem pretty nice. They definitely have a good flex to them. They fan fantastic. You can see all the suits and numbers there. A nice consistent fan. Pretty smooth ferrule. Pretty nice giant fan. And like I said, these are a little bit thinner of a stock, so they have like a softer kind of feel to it when you like were shuffling these and stuff. But they still handle like they're still pretty smooth though. And they don't handle like too different than like your like bicycle stock if you're used to that. But you definitely tell they feel slightly different just because like the finish of it and how they're made. But overall, they still handle fantastic. No real issues. They're expected a little bit thinner, so some people might not like thin decks as much. But other than that, fantastic handling. And they look fantastic. Love that kind of optical illusion style there. With like that wave design with that little circle there in the middle. Fantastic there. 52 cards make some fantastic decks. He's only made like two like brands, like the waves and the mint. But there's still fantastic decks that he produces. There, this one is fun there. And then you got the full custom faces, which we looked at there. With like those custom suits there. And then the core cards are one of my favorites. Love those core cards there. Like I mentioned, they kind of remind me of like almost like a coloring book. Or color it in with like crayons and stuff. They're also a pretty fun design all the way throughout there. So, I guess with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. This has been day 564 of Daily Deck Review, and this has been the standard edition of the Waves playing cards from 52 Cards, and I'm the Canadian Collector signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.